Hi, this is Donna with New Dawn Realty, and we're bringing you What's Up Wednesday. We are so excited with just being able to bring you information and keep you up to date on the marketplace. And so at New Dawn Realty, we're part of Metro Brokers Elite, a fabulous office, and all of us are keeping our finger on the pulse. Our team is educated and ready to share with you the most recent happenings in the marketplace. So here we are. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And I'm going to start off, and we also have a guest today, and Brian Rankin is with us with Highlands Mortgage, and I'm so happy to have you here, Brian, and he's going to share some insight and his wisdom, and he's kind of our Yoda of the lending industry. So thanks for being here with us, and you'll hear from him in just a minute. So each of us at New Dawn Realty want to bring you some information, and I'm going to start with today. I got an email from somebody in the industry that said, hey, all-knowing Donna. And at first I was kind of like, hey, yeah, I'm all knowing. And then I was like, you know what? I do have a lot of information, but I'm not all knowing, and I don't have a crystal ball into the future. Unfortunately, I'd get paid a lot more if I did. But with that, if anybody tells you they know, everything or have the answer, you should run, because we don't. And we're just keeping up to date on all the changes in the industry, and want you to be the first to know. So the question in this email to me was, do you think that the government should reopen the economy? And of course, I've got an opinion about it, and I come from my own stance and my own experiences. And I do believe that we need to take this virus seriously, and it needs to be contained. And so my belief is that, yes, we should. No, we shouldn't reopen the economy, and that we should give it a couple more weeks and make sure that our numbers, especially here in Colorado, are leveling out. It seems like other places in the nation are leveling out, some are amping up. So I think depending on what your state is doing, it should be more of a statewide thing rather than a overall. But if we can keep things shut for another couple of weeks, personally, I think that would be good. If we are sick, we can't work. However, with that being said, there are 78% of Americans who don't have a savings or something to fall back on, and they just need to get to work. And I understand that. So it's one of those, like, okay, if you're sick, you can't work, but you need to work. And so perhaps, you need to risk it and go back to work. So it's a loaded question. I would like to see us have another 2 weeks on hold here in Colorado, because our numbers are leveling off. That's just my opinion on that. And we'll see what the government does. So that's my What's Up Wednesday. I do want you to be encouraged. And at New Dawn Realty, we are always encouraging you and inspiring you. So my encouragement today is that I heard an interview that said April will always be the lost month. And that really bristled against me, because I'm an encourager, and so there's nothing lost. Everything works together for good. And so I want to know, we want to hear from you about, how have you recovered April, even though we've had this distancing and can't be with many that we love and those that we work with? And so how are you recovering the month? And I'm finding time to grow my business, make a new plan, get information daily to my clients, to spend real quality time with my husband. So I am recovering this month, and I hope that you will do the same. So that's your encouragement for today. And I'm going to turn it over to Denise Gerhardt.
Hi. Spinning off of what Donna said, I'd like to share what I've experienced recovering in April. I find that more families are spending time together. They're eating together. They're cooking really good meals. One of my grandchildren is really, really skinny, and she's gaining weight. I'm so excited. I know that's silly to some, but that's pretty amazing to me. And on the real estate side, what I would like to share is, in 2018, the housing industry went up approximate 3.5% for the year. In 2019, it dropped slightly, but it was 2.8%. And even though we have this coronavirus going on right now, they do expect us to level out and stay the same for the remainder of this year. So with that, along with the mortgage rates, I still believe that this is a really good time to buy and sell. Hope that all your families are safe, and stay home if you can. This virus is serious. It really, really is. I do know a couple people who have passed from it, and I know one woman who I'm very close to. She was in the ICU for 6 days. She does have underlying health issues. She made it, but that's probably why she ended up in the hospital. But take care of each other. And I have a little quote: act as if what you do makes a difference, because it does, by William James. And now I'm going to turn you over to Janessa.
Hey everyone, Janessa Turvis here. We're just kind of bouncing off of each other. So I'm going to bounce off of Denise's comment about how the market's going to bounce back after this kind of starts to level out a little bit. So my recommendation is to think about what you can do now as far as buying and selling. If you've been thinking about it, now's your time to prepare yourself. Contact us. We will be more than happy to answer any questions and kind of get you started on that process. Sellers, now is the perfect time if you've been thinking about selling, but you're like, oh, there's so much stuff in my house and it's not clean and there's no way I can show it. Well, now's your time. You have all this time at home. Maybe start getting your house ready to show. Buyers, now's the perfect time to start talking to your lenders. Figure out what you need to do to get your finances and everything in order. If you're good to go, then maybe you can start collecting all the paperwork needed to just kind of smooth out that process and get you going once we can kind of get rolling again. But know that if you are in a time crunch and you need to get going now, we are obviously still working for you. And there's things that we can do outside of this stay-at-home order or while we're in our houses to get your house marketed, to get you to see houses. We're doing virtual tours, virtual open houses. They've started doing virtual closings. So there's still lots of options available to you if you're in a time crunch and need to get in or out now. With that, I kind of just wanted to end with a Spencer Johnson quote. He said, be in the present, learn from our past, and help create the future. So I think that goes, not just in real estate, but with everything right now. We have all this time to sit at home and reflect, what can we do, learning from this experience, what can we do to better our future? What are we doing to be present in this moment? Like Donna said, to kind of recover our April, since we do have the opportunity to be present. So I think there is good opportunity here, even though it might be kind of frustrating being stuck at home in these very uncertain times. So keep your head up, stay home, stay safe, and I'm gonna pass it over to Brian Rankin.
Hello everybody, this is Brian Rankin with Highlands Mortgage here in Denver, Colorado. It's amazing with all the technology that we have here today that even allows us these opportunities to still be able to stay in touch with one another and keeping the distancing at bay. So I guess we should all be grateful. We were talking earlier about perspective. I think we should be grateful that we have these abilities to do these things, because gosh, if you go back, whether it's 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, how different this would be, and really how remote and probably not in touch with people we would really be. So I guess be grateful for all the technology that we have that exists today to allow us to do this. With that being said, we've had a crazy ride in the mortgage-backed security market, which is how mortgage rates are priced, and these MBS mortgage-backed securities that are being traded have been up and down, and it's been very erratic. And as soon as the lockdown went down back at the beginning of March, it really dropped the market dramatically. And then we had some big ups and some big downs, and some of these upswings were stuff that I've never seen in 25 years of doing this. So it not only affects rates, it affects people who service loans, it affects investors who invest in these, it affects the margins on the loans, and there's so many intricacies that go into this that's kind of blown me away with having to watch what's happening and daily try to be able to give decent pricing and updated pricing to people. But the one thing we kept saying all the time is we need some stability. As soon as some things get in and we get some stability, we'll see some things go back to normal. To kind of put it in perspective, when rates hit an all-time low back in like March 6th, and then the lockdown occurred, rates back then had hit an all-time low of 3% on a 30-year fix on a conventional loan. In basically a few days, they jumped all the way up to 4.875%. It was the most erratic jump that's probably ever been witnessed. All the experts that have been even doing this, whether it's 35 years, 40 years, so longer than me, have said it's nothing that they've ever seen. Once kind of things settled back down, the Fed actually got involved with buying mortgage-backed securities, of which actually today they're going to buy another 11 billion, some 15 years, some 30 year, and that is actually what's created the stability in the market that we've had. Rates have got back down to decent pricing, and things have settled back in. The government side is a little bit different than the conventional side, and but the government loans are still good. The VAs are really, really good. But as far as FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, those are the coupons on them. To see how the pricing shakes out is a little erratic, and sometimes when you first look at it, doesn't make sense. The biggest thing is the forbearance that's out there right now, and that's going to be affecting a lot of the loan servicers out there going forward. Because if you're a loan servicer, you have the loan, you still have to make your payments. And so if they're giving forbearance to the buyers out there, how are the servicers going to go about making? So obviously the government's going to have to step in there. On a positive note, the housing actually is holding, and it's strong. As crazy as that sounds, even with what we're going through, purchases are only down 1.8% from what they were last month. So it's holding in there. It's actually really, really good news. Rates, on the other hand, are a full 1% lower from what they were at this time last year. I've talked about this with a lot of the other agents out there, because I think it's important for people to understand that a 1% difference in rate, whether up or down, makes a difference of 10% in your purchasing power. So if you were approved at a purchase price of $400,000 and rates went up by a full percent from where you got originally approved, the same payment would now be at $360,000. It's a big difference. So it's good news that rates are holding down and low, and especially with the Denver market and as strong as it is, and where the purchase prices exist here. So it is a great time to get pre-approved, so that you know what your buying power is and it fits in with your budget and your objectives to get you into that first home, or whether it's to get you into your next move up home, or even to downsize. The purchase market is going to rebound as long as these health measures to reduce the pandemic spread is successful. So as long as they're keeping the spread down and things open back up, the purchase market is definitely going to rebound. Kind of with all that said, to kind of give you a baseline of where we stand today on a 30-year fixed on a conventional loan with no buy down points, conventionals are at 3.25%, and with a buy down point, they're at 3%. On the FHA side, with no points, 3 1/8, so 3.125. And this is the one that's going to kind of blow you away now that they've kind of come back a little bit. With a full discount point on an FHA loan today, you can get 2.75%. So
My goodness.
pretty good buy down.
Wow.
Phenomenal time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Brian, for being here with us today.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. We are going to be holding a monthly drawing, our What's Up Wednesday monthly drawing, starting next week. So be sure to comment on our videos, share the videos, the interactions. Let us know what you're doing to recover your April. And we will be in touch next week. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.